April 15th is just around the corner, and what that means is tax refunds are on their way. And for most people, I think they would be quite excited to be receiving a tax refund. And I have a very different perspective on this because, me personally, I would be pissed if I'm getting a huge tax refund. And I'll say it again, if you're getting a huge tax refund, you should be pissed off. And it's going to come as a shock to you guys. Why should I be upset that the government is giving me money? I'm getting a tax refund. I get a tax refund every year when I file my tax return. This is such a good thing. No, it's not. It's not at all. My name is Carrington Dennis. I'm a certified enrolled agent, and in this video, I'm going to explain exactly the reason why it is not good to be getting a refund from the IRS. So, why are we mad? I would be upset if I'm getting a refund from the IRS because what does a refund actually mean? It doesn't mean the IRS is granting you money. It's not what that means. Not what that means at all, right? What that typically is telling you is that you personally overpaid on taxes. You had your W-2, you may have had your 1099, you may have had your business, whatever the case may be. You overpaid on taxes. Now, again, you're probably thinking to yourself, why is this such a bad thing? Like, why are you so against this? I'm against it because who in their right mind is loaning the government money interest free? Because that's exactly what you just did. If you're getting a sizable refund from the IRS, what you essentially just did throughout the whole year is you just loaned the IRS money interest free. Why? I typically wouldn't do that. If someone asked to borrow money from me, I would want a little bit something in return for it, right? Especially the government. I would want something in return for it. Why don't you think the same exact way? If you're constantly getting refunds, that's an issue, especially if they're sizable. That requires an adjustment to a W-4 form on your W-2. That requires an adjustment or maybe even tax planning for any estimated tax payments that you're ultimately doing. Because what it's sounding like, if you're getting all these sizable refunds, you're not making estimated tax payments, right? You're essentially paying the government. You're making estimated loan payments to the IRS. And here's the real kicker, and this is why I get really upset. And again, it's not necessarily your guys' fault, right? My goal is to educate you guys at the end of the day. But why I get upset is because when we overpay the government, right? Or let me even take a step back. When we underpay the IRS, what happens? And you guys are all probably thinking to yourself right now, Carrington, we get notices in the mail. We get notices that, hey, they're going to levy our bank accounts. Hey, they're going to take our property. They're going to take our cars. They're going to take all these different things if we don't pay the IRS, right? But what happens if the IRS doesn't pay us our refund? Do we get any interest on it? No, we don't get any of that. As a matter of fact, we have to tell the IRS that they owe us money, right? That's kind of backwards. We have to inform the IRS that we overpaid and they owe us money. But when we're paying taxes, the IRS is immediately on us saying, hey, we need our fair cut immediately, or we're going to levy this, we're going to levy that, and we're going to take this. That seem fair to you guys? Doesn't seem fair to me, right? And another thing, the second that we ask for our money back, the one that we essentially loaned them overpaid for, what do they tell us? Oh yeah, you have to wait. They tell us you got to wait. Does that make sense to you? You're telling me I loaned you money. Now I'm telling you I want my money back. I'm already not getting interest on it. And now I'm being told I need to wait 6 to 8 weeks, maybe even longer. What if I made a mistake on my tax return, right? And I overpaid and I wanted to amend my tax return and get my overpaid money back, what the IRS owes me, because I realized I made a mistake. The IRS owes me money. How long do you think it takes for them to process a refund after you've amended a return? You're looking at 6 to 8 months, if that. Now, again, I'm not crazy, and I hope you guys are starting to pick up on this. That is insanity. So the reason I'm making this video today is to explain to you guys that you guys need to wake up. You need to make adjustments to your W-4 form if you're receiving a W-2 to make sure that you are not overpaying the IRS. Because what you're ultimately missing out on, and why I'm so hell-bent on getting this point across, is because if I'm getting a $10,000 refund, a $30,000 refund, and when your income really starts to get up there, you're receiving refunds of $40,000, $50,000. That's $40,000 or $50,000 that can be invested in the market, that can be invested in any other assets. You can go purchase, rental properties. You can purchase assets that are cash flowing for you. There's so much more that you can be doing with that money rather than that money sitting in the IRS's bank account, sitting in the U.S. Treasury. And then when you ask for it back, they say, hey, you need to wait 6 to 8 weeks or 6 to 8 months if you're amending a tax return. That's what pisses me off. So I'm really encouraging you guys to wake up, do your research, figure out how to fill out your W-4, and understand that the most ideal situation when you file your tax return is that you're breaking even. If you break even on your tax return year over year, you're paying exactly the correct amount. Now, if you want to go more aggressive than that, obviously there's always going to be tax planning. There's always going to be advisory services that we can strategize and look to, hey, maybe allocate more money to a retirement account, allocate more money to rental properties to, create a bunch of depreciation to offset taxes for a certain year. Those are always going to be things that we can ultimately do. But if you're not doing any tax strategy at all and you're just receiving those big refunds, you need to wake up, make those adjustments, and understand that the government does not have the right to be loaned money, not pay you any interest on it, and then tell you that you need to wait for you to reclaim your own money and put that money back in your pocket. My name is Carrington Dennis. I am a certified enrolled agent. You guys need to wake up. If you guys got any value from this video, like, subscribe, drop a comment of your thoughts on this. Maybe I got it wrong. And if you want to share your other perspective, please go ahead and do it. But again, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on more videos.